style of show.
A new style of show, a little bit of a format, but we are pop culture aficionados.
We are pop culture aficionados. We watch everything, we read everything, we love all the dirt. My name is Sarah Fraser. This is my co-host and dear friend, Andrea Lopez. So today we are doing a review of episode 5 of Welcome to Plathville, the TLC show that has taken the internet by storm.
It has taken the nation by storm. Everyone's talking about it, especially us.
Is everyone? I feel like we're the only people doing a review because the show is torturous. Like, it's a good torture, but it's first of all, it's an hour-long show that needs to be 30 minutes max because...
Max. We could even cut it down to 20 minutes with the commercials would make it 30. That's all we need.
Because let us tell you, here is the premise of the show, okay? It's a family of 11. They live in Cairo, Georgia, out on an 80-acre farm. It's the Plath family. They're uber religious. The parents are Barry and Kim. Barry looks like he has murdered at least 2 or 3 people.
They've got a couple bodies in the basement, probably, somewhere on the acreage of lands that they have, yes.
I'm always fascinated, too, like, they homeschool their kids, okay? They have a rebellious 16-year-old daughter named Mariah. They have a smoking hot, oh my God.
Smoking. And I gotta say about these country people, they pop them out like bunnies. They've got a 21-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 16-year-old. Yeah, it's insane.
And how do they look like a Nordic, colony that was like, Georgia's a diverse state, right? These people, there ain't a lick of color in them. They are so, and they're almost translucent. They're so blonde.
Honestly, close to albino. The hair is so blonde, you can't even go to a hair salon and ask for platinum that blonde.
I'll give this to Barry. For as creepy looking as he is, he produces some hot kids.
You know what? And it's funny because all the kids look different, but they're all attractive in their own way. All 9 of them. They've got 9 kids.
Okay, ladies, gay guys, pans, whoever, like whatever sexuality you are. Micah, the 18-year-old who is now launching a modeling career.
For better or for worse, modeling, I don't know, because he's been sheltered his entire life to expose him to these type of things.
So basically on this podcast episode and YouTube video, we are going to review episode 5 of Welcome to Plathville, the new TLC show. And we're also going to tell you some facts about the show and behind the scenes that you may not have known, including a lot of the family members are now on Instagram, thanks to the show.
They've never been exposed to technology. They never grew up with any type of television, phones. And so now I find it interesting that the show has launched and all of a sudden they all have blooming Instagrams, more followers than we have.
Like in 2 days. 2 days.
2 days.
It's we need to seriously, what would our show be called? We need a TLC
the
show.
The white chick and the Mexican chick. One in the pink, one in the stink. What is
Welcome to Rice and Beans. Like
that's perfect. Arroz con frijoles. Here we are.
And then it's just all the shenanigans of our lives, which is everything. Y'all, one day we are like, we have so much money in the bank account, and the next we're living off 34 cents. I just got multiple notifications. Your overdraft protection is kicked in. Okay, great.
It's like, didn't I just get a huge check last month? Oh, yeah, it's already gone.
All gone.
It's donezo.
All right, so look, real quick, AJ, and by the way, Andrea Lopez is Andrea's real name, but on the show, we call her AJ, so that's why you'll hear me call her AJ. So, okay, describe to people, give a summary of what episode 5, which is an hour-long episode, was about.
Okay, episode 5 is Micah, whatever we want to call him, the hot son. He wants to pursue modeling. A lot of his friends say, hey, you're so attractive. He's muscular. He's been on a farm his whole life. The muscles have grown. He's growing into himself. He is an attractive man. So they head on over to Marcia Doll Modeling. She's a character in her own. They don't know what to make of Marcia Doll. They're like, who the fuck is this lady? She's like ancient, probably like 80 years old, but like acts like a 20-year-old.
And Marcia Doll, to give you, if you guys remember John and Kate plus 8, that show.
Yeah, that is the John
hair.
8 plus 8, season 1, Kate's hair.
Right, because Kate's hair was like slicked down with some sort of like gel in the front and then spiked in the back. It was
porcupine. Business in the front, for sure, party in the back. I don't know who started this hairdo. I have no idea.
Who did? Because it's kind of the modern day mullet for women.
It is, exactly. But you only really need maybe 2 inches of hair, and you can do the hair. You can do the hairdo.
And it is the worst haircut of all time. But Marcia Doll has it.
So Marcia Doll rocks it.
And my favorite scene is when they walk into Marcia's office, and she's like, what do we have here?
Oh my gosh, you're beautiful people.
Marcia, you can tell her undies just were soaked. She was like so.
For literally everyone that walked in.
Everybody.
The 2
Mariah, Olivia, everybody.
Everybody. And She teaches them how to do a runway walk, which is kind of rough in the beginning. Mariah
Very
gives
rough.
us a strut, a lot of shoulders, and Marsha's like, no shoulders, stop that. But attitude, but no shoulders. And then what else happened? They went to the beach?
Okay, well, they go to the beach after that. So Marsha Doll does sign, like, she wants to work with him.
By the way, yes, Micah gets a job ASAP. He's in the room 10 minutes, and she's like, I got a job for you.
Not one rejection.
I'm like, listen, kid, fame isn't that easy, okay?
Let us tell you about the entertainment business. But he manages to land a job immediately with Marsha Doll.
Right.
So also, there's ongoing tension between Mariah and Kim. So Kim and Barry are the parents. We probably should give people a rundown of who the kids are. Kim and Barry are the parents. Olivia and Ethan just got married, moved out, and there's a ton of tension between Kim and Barry and Ethan and Olivia.
Yes.
Leading up to episode 5.
They're a newly married couple, and Olivia is kind of introducing Ethan into some new things like a Coca-Cola, sugar, margaritas.
Margaritas, yes.
The parents do not like this new introduction of worldly things.
Correct. And so then you have Micah, of course, who's 18 now, wants to model. Lydia is like 15, and she does all their housework. I mean, that poor woman is like tied to the stove.
She is 16 years old, going on 35, can cook a mean mac and cheese, jambalaya. I love when they show her cooking the jambalaya. She's like, the jambalaya's ready. Who the fuck? Who makes jambalaya on a Tuesday? Doesn't that take like all day to make?
Hours.
She's slaving
Hours.
away, laundry, cooking, cleaning up after Mariah. I mean, she's the star kid.
They're also currently, like, on episode 5, they continue to talk about, so Ethan Plath, we learn, is a full-time musician.
Yes.
That's, like, how he makes his money. And we find out that they're wanting to form a band. So Ethan, Olivia, Mariah, Micah, and then they want Isaac, who's, like, 16 years old, to be in the band, but Barry and Kim do not want him in the band because they think that Ethan and Olivia are bad influences. Ethan and Olivia get together. They drink a glass of wine at night. They have a margarita.
God forbid. The spirits are upon them.
So, that was ongoing. And then the ongoing discussion, too, from episode 5 is that Mariah wants to go to college.
And I will say, the mom comes over and she goes, what are you searching for? Look for the academics. Oh, you're on the sports page. That's funny. She's like clicking through. She notices Mariah is looking on the sports page because obviously she wants to know what hot athlete she's going to bang in college. Yes. They get to the college. They go into the dorms. Immediately the mother asks, is this a co-ed dorm? And they go, yes. Why wouldn't it be? Mariah, you can see her face lights up. She's like, yes. Co-ed dorms.
And of course, then there's like this snippet in episode 5 where Mariah and Micah, because they hang out all the time together, are talking about, he's saying, have you made up your mind? Do you want to go to college? And she's like, yes, for the parties. Like, yeah, of course, that's why everyone wants to go.
Correct. So she really is just an American kid, just like the rest of us.
And the show is so crazy because you're like, how did these kids live so sheltered? And now they're on television.
Is that not a culture shock? I feel like that would just be even worse to shelter them and then just expose them to all of this craziness.
Well, see, that's my dilemma with this show is I feel as though Kim and Barry, and honestly, we should do a drinking game where you take a shot every time Barry says, wholesome family values.
We need to play the Plath drinking game. I mean, there's so many things we could say.
Because they always are lecturing Olivia. Maybe it's your values. Maybe it's your values.
Reevaluate everything that you've been taught. Your values are not in line with our values.
Okay, your values are boring. Like, honestly, I mean, you had like these 11 kids and you give them a stick to play with. I mean, it's like, come on. What are their values? Their values are just do nothing. Like, have no fun.
Do you like anything about them? I like how wholesome they are. But the problem is no one else in the world is raised like this. And if they are, we'll never see them. But
well, Kim is a naturopath doctor. I would go to her because she has nothing else going on but probably to read about the body. So
yes.
She'd probably be good that way.
She's got a lot of free time.
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent about the parents. I like the kids. I think that this show, first of all, it's way too long. It's too long. It's too slow. Because and essentially every episode is them just trying to experience life.
Yes, we just watch them try new things, which are not new things.
But there's really no, I guess what's missing for me is there's no big drama, like explosions. You know what I'm saying? When the Kardashians first launched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, what was great is there was genuine fights between, like, Rob and the girls and their boyfriends, the sex tape.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many elements of drama, and I think this show is missing some of that.
Yes, we see a lot of tent building and structure, sticks and stones, jumping over the brooks. Yeah, it's missing a little bit of the drama.
Yeah, they come cantering out on the painted horse there. It's like, okay. You know what? This is, like, that's an awesome scene with a drone, but I need something a little bit more relate, because I just find them a little hard to relate to because they're so extremely sheltered. Do you?
Yes, extremely sheltered. I will say I foreshadow a little bit of an incest relationship between Micah and Mariah.
That'd be awesome. Now that would kick the show up.
That would kick the show up a notch or two, I would say. And I'm not insinuating that there is incest going on. I just notice them together a lot, upstairs.
Guys, come on down.
And the two of them come down, and you're like, is no one else upstairs? It was just the two of you? And anytime they do anything, Mariah's like, is Micah coming too? No, bitch, you're doing it by yourself, all right? I do find it interesting that the mother grew up with a single parent and her mom was an alcoholic.
Yeah, so it seems like this raising the kids so sheltered is obviously a reaction of that.
And I think she has provided her kids with a way better upbringing than she ever experienced. So in that way, I respect her.
I mean, I think what should happen is there should be a spin-off show with Ethan, Olivia, Micah, and Mariah. And they should all move to Los Angeles, hopefully get heavily into drugs. And then I want to see them just like have orgies and all that. And then hopefully it all ends up in the end okay.
This is almost a remake of the Amish, like Amish Go Wild. And then they go on their Rumspringa.
Yeah. Did that show last?
No. So that's why I think Welcome to Plathville, they need to work a little harder. We need to get a little bit more drama.
Yeah. But I oddly can't turn it off. Like, I really like the kids.
Well,
I think the kids are great. Marcia Dahl is a amazing epic character. Like, maybe it ought to be Marcia Dahl pimping him out.
Now, I really was going to say Marcia Dahl needs her own show, definitely a spinoff, and then how Ethan kind of goes into the modeling industry.
That would be really good.
Marcia Dahl is a character. I think that you kind of could be Marcia Dahl in a couple years. You're just over the industry, so then you just you find stars and you're like, you're a star.
What do we have here?
You just hit on all the young
How
models
old
and actors.
Are you legal?
Mm-hmm.
You're 18?
Yeah.
I'm 29.
You'll be riding that wave for a long time.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dahl, and I'm 30.
Sarah Dahl? Okay, yeah, we'll workshop that. Yeah. But I see a future for you in that.
All right, what are some interesting facts that we learned this week about the Plath family?
Interesting facts.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, you did mention to me that that the mother actually ran over one of her own children.
All right, so one tragic thing about now, I think they briefly touched on this in episode 3, but I actually found this out from their website. So I didn't know this, but they keep the plathfamily.com as their website. They actually have some tour dates because they're all musicians and they created a family band. They're
It's like the Von Trapp family. Doe, a deer. I mean, that's what I think they're going to go into song. They're just all of them together.
They definitely are the Von Trapps when we want them to be the Jackson 5.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if we could get a mix of the both, that'd be amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. But so on their website, Kim actually put up a blog where in 2008, she ran over their 17-month-old child when she was in an SUV that she was trying to move trees on their property. Did not see the baby, ran him over. He did not survive, died at the hospital. I mean, I don't even know how they recovered from that.
If I was a parent and I ran over my own child, I would have it removed. Like, I couldn't even look at the site.
Here's my issue, though, with the show is that's a terrible storyline, but a storyline that I think creates a lot of empathy for them. So it's why didn't we lead with that to some degree?
Now, when did that get into? That was like third episode.
Yeah, it was like third episode, and they kind of briefly touch on it, but you learn more basically from their website. And you're like,
you just killed your son, and they just kind of like breeze right over that. And then I ran over my son. But anyway, we're getting back to the Mariah. You're like, I think we just missed that really important. So we learn more about them on their website.
We learn a lot. So you can go to theplathfamily.com if you want to learn more about that. Ethan Plath, who's moved out, married Olivia, who's introducing him to margaritas, is a full-time musician. Because I'm always like, how do these people make their money?
Yeah, I know.
But I guess if you live in Cairo, Georgia, you can afford to buy things.
It's not really expensive.
There's rumor that the Plaths own multiple homes in the area and that their home, the Plath farm, is actually on Airbnb to rent. Now, I have not investigated that, but I will look into that to see. Because if we can rent it, we're going down there.
We have to go down there, do a live podcast.
Absolutely. And then the kids are currently starring on a YouTube made for TV, not really, I guess like a YouTube short movie called Murder He Wished. Now, I tried to watch this and...
And now it is like an aspiring filmmaker's menagerie. I think if you like go on there, you can definitely tell one of the children had filmed it, edited it. But great acting. I mean, they've got an entire cast right in the family. They don't have to go very far.
They do. So there's some things, but you actually investigated their Instagram, which is far more compelling than all that.
It's beyond me that they all have Instagram because we, in the first episode, were introduced to them and they don't use social media at all. And we just put one of their names in and all of a sudden they just come right up.
All of them showed up, yes.
All right, well, you can follow the oldest son and his wife, Ethan.Plath, and Olivia Marie Plath. Those two are married. Olivia is a photographer, so she has an actual, like,
hers is
real
legit.
good-looking, legit, 26K follows Instagram. A lot of pictures of them, too. Probably her shoving donuts down Ethan's mouth because I think she gets off on that, just, like, introducing him to, like, margaritas and wine.
I've never had sugar before.
Mariah Jasper, she is the rebel. She's Mariah.Jasper. If you want to know what Micah's all about, follow him in Micah Plath. And then, of course, Marcia Doll Models. We need to get her numbers up. She's only about 3,000 plus.
Yeah.
We've got to get her numbers up, y'all. She is the star of the show. If not, and I love that their Instagram is so wholesome. Like, they haven't gotten full of themselves yet. Like, Micah only posted one shirtless pic. So you're like, okay, you could do a lot more because he's got an amazing
I mean, should I leave
body.
a comment on here? You're smoking hot. Are you into
Please
older
do.
women?
No, actually just say, hey, you're smoking hot. Do you want to be on our podcast?
You are
Get in there.
smoking hot.
She's doing it. You are, okay, no.
Smoking hot. Would you?
This is giving off creeper vibes. Maybe we should just approach him slowly. Like, do you want to be on a podcast? We love the content. Like, I don't know if we should just be immediately.
We are big fans of you and your body. Would you be on our podcast? What I love about Micah's Instagram, though, is this dude is trying, like, he's torn between still, like, on the farm wrangling the cows and milking them and then trying to be a model. My favorite shot is the one from August 7th where he's sitting on a tree and they tried to, like, uplight him.
Yes.
As a model. And then he hits the old telephone pole there and gets some sweat stains.
Oh, you're one to talk about sweat stains. She knows them all too well, folks.
Micah, when we have you on the show, I can't wait to talk about your sweat stains.
Yes, it is so true. It's a hodgepodge of, like, him on the farm with a couple of, like, pick stitch cow pics and then his modeling debut. I love it. It's authentic.
He's, like, pulling on the udders and then he's, like, shirtless. It's just like, all right, dude, I
It's
like
an amazing mix of both.
It is. Okay, so overall, episode 5.
Episode 5, Micah's modeling debut. They go to the beach. They do a modeling walk. It's very awkward. It's very funny. And then there's still that tension between Ethan and Olivia and the parents. And they have this, like, very serious talk, even though they literally they solve nothing in this talk.
Nothing's been resolved. And Kim, the mom, and Mariah are constantly, like,
in a head bash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they tease now, coming up on episode 6, they tease they're all out to dinner as a family dinner, and Ethan orders a beer. And we cut to Barry, who says that he believes they've been ambushed. So it's like
literally he's ready for Ashton Kutcher to come out and say you've been punked. He's like, what?
He's in complete shock. His face turns ash white.
I mean,
this is an ambush.
Ethan is like, their eyes went so big. I ordered one beer. And then all the young kids are like, are you drinking a beer? As if it is the worst thing to possibly happen.
It is. I cannot wait for this. The problem is it's going to take 60 minutes for us to get to the scene
with the sipping the beer, actually. Yeah. It's a very long, drawn-out show. It's like, just sip the beer. Show the beer. That's what we want to see.
So we're going to keep reviewing Welcome to Plathville. You guys can follow us on social media. I'm at Hey Frase on Instagram and basically all across platforms.
Yes, ma'am. At Andrea Lopez Comedy. You can find me there. YouTube.
Thanks, guys.
All the above.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. Hit on the notifications. And also, you can download the Hey Frase Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere podcasts are distributed. Bye, everybody.
Bye.